Hey humans, welcome to Read to Me, Matt Dunn. I'm Matt Dunn, and I'm going to read to you. This is Gamora. You will know that. Everybody knows Gamora, right? Gamora? Everybody knows you. She knows. She knows. Today we are on chapter 23, part 2. And it's funny eyes, right? Mr. Collins returned into Hertfordshire. Mr. Collins's return into Hertfordshire was no longer a matter of pleasure to Mrs. Bennett. On the contrary, she was as much disposed to complain of it as her husband. So since he's not there for the daughter, she don't give a fuck. She's as clear as day, is what she is. It was very strange that he should come to Longbourn instead of to Lucas Lodge. It was also very inconvenient and exceedingly troublesome. She hated having visitors in the house while her health was so indifferent, and the lovers were of all people the most disagreeable. Such were the gentle murmurs of Mrs. Bennett, and they gave way only to the greater distress of Mr. Bingley's continued absence. Neither Jane nor Elizabeth were comfortable on this subject. Day after day passed away without bringing any other tidings of him than the report which shortly prevailed in Meryton of his coming no more to Netherfield the whole winter, a report which highly incensed Mrs. Bennet, and which she never failed to contradict as a most scandalous falsehood. Scandalous. Scandalous. Ha ha ha. I just love that word. Scandalous. Scandalous. The word itself is scandalous. Neither Jane nor myself reading the same paragraph. That was the same paragraph. I already knew. Even Elizabeth began to fear. Not that Bingley was indifferent, but that his sisters would be successful in keeping him away. What is wrong with me today? I'm bad with so my eyes can't keep. I gotta do wop. I'm gonna get a postcard. Okay, maybe this will help. I gotta go back to freaking 3rd grade. Even Elizabeth began to fear, skip, blah, 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 keeping him away. Unwilling as she was to admit an idea so destructive of Jane's happiness and so dishonorable to the stability of her lover, she could not prevent its frequently reoccurring. The united efforts of his two unfeeling sisters and of his overpowering friend, assisted by the attractions of Miss Darcy and the amusements of London, might be too much. She feared for the strength of his attachment. Oh Lord, let's hope he really's got it going on for Jane. I'm not supposed to remember their names. It's in the pages, so I read it. I can't never have to remember. I can never much remember good things. As for Jane, her anxiety under this suspense was, of course, more painful than Elizabeth's. Of course. But whatever she felt, she was desirous of concealing, and between herself and Elizabeth. Therefore, the subject was never alluded to, but as no such, he doesn't even work still with As no such delicacy restrained her mother, an hour seldom passed in which she did not talk of Bingley, express her impatience for his arrival, or even require Jane to confess that if he did not come back, she would think herself very ill used. What does that fucking mean? Fuck you! Her mother is a piece of shit. I am not down with Mrs. Bennett. At all. Not down with that clown. It needed all of Jane's steady mildness to bear these attacks with tolerable tranquility. Damn straight. That fucking... Ugh. Mr. Collins returned most punctually. Take a lesson, fucking ratchet face. What's his name? Bingley. Take lessons, Bingley. Fucking Collins has got it going on. He's always proper. Got some money, probably. Maybe he's not so good on the looks, but hey, what are looks back then? Really? Back then, come on. Come on, everyone's dirty. I mean, some people bathe more than others, but some people also have money. Fuck them. Right? Right. Pig shit, motherfuckers. Anyway. Mr. Collins. Hashtag Mr. Collins. Dreaming it. Dream guy right there, Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins returns most punctually on the Monday fortnight, but his reception at Longbourn was not quite so gracious as it had been on his first introduction. Yeah, because of Mrs. Bennett. He was too happy, however, to need much attention, and luckily for the others, the business of love-making relieved them from a great deal of his company. The chief of every day was spent by him at Lucas Lodge, and he sometimes returned to Longbourn only in time to make an apology for his absence before the family went to bed. Makes sense. Yeah. Mrs. Bennett was really in a most pitiable state. The very mention of anything concerning the match threw her into an agony of ill humor, and wherever she went, she was sure of hearing it talked of. The sight of Miss Lucas was odious to her. As her successor in that house, she regarded her with jealous abhorrence. Whenever Charlotte came to see them, she concluded her to be anticipating the hour of possession. Mrs. Bennett, suck it up. God damn it. And whenever she spoke in a low voice to Mr. Collins, was convinced that they were talking of the Longbourn estate, and resolving to turn herself and her daughters out of the house as soon as Mr. Bennett was dead. Ooh, she definitely thinks that shit. It's evil. That's evil think. She complained bitterly of all this to her husband, and he's just like, yeah, and when I'm dead, nothing's gonna matter. He's kind of being a dick too, I guess. He's got to be proactive. He's got to be like, listen, wife, don't worry about it. I got it taken care of. You're gonna have this house. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know. But does she know? I'm sorry. Indeed, Mr. Bennett, said she, it is very hard to think that Charlotte Lucas should ever be mistress of this house, that I should be forced to make way for her, and live to see her take my place in it. My dear, do not give way to such gloomy thoughts. Let us hope for better things. Let us flatter ourselves that I may be the survivor. You're gonna all die before me. Because I got plans. This was not very consoling to Mrs. Bennett, and therefore, instead of making any answer, she went on as before, ignoring him. She just ignores him. She's like, blah, 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 blah. You're just weird. You're just talking. I'm gonna vent. I cannot bear to think that they should have all this estate. If it were not for the entail, I should not mind it. What should not you mind? Let us be thankful that you are preserved from a state of such insensibility. I never can be thankful, Mr. Bennett. Wait. I can't. Okay, so like, let's see. I can't bear to think blah blah blah. That's what she said. And then he says, "What should not you mind?" And then she says, "I should not mind anything at all." Oh, I skipped that line. What should you not mind? Said the husband of Mr. Bennett. And then Mrs. Bennett says, "I should not mind anything at all." And then he says, let us be thankful that you are preserved from a state of such insensibility. And then she says, "I never can be thankful, Mr. Bennett, for anything about the entail. How anyone could have the conscience to entail an estate from any fucking goddamn it. How anyone can have the conscience to entail a state. How anyone could have the conscience to entail away an estate from one's own daughters, comma, I cannot understand, semicolon, and all for the sake of Mr. Collins too, exclamation point, dash, why should he have it more than anybody else, question mark, end quote. I leave it to yourself to determine, end quote, said Mr. Bennett. Isn't that great? That's how I'm going to read the book from now on. That's how you like it, right? That's how I like it. I like it like that. I'm sorry. Hello, good day. I'm all done with chapter 23. And if you would like for me to make some more videos, please check out some more videos, right? It's redundant, isn't it? Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to my channel to catch all the newest videos. And Monday and Tuesday, I will be premiering my videos at noon on Eastern Time, America time. I don't know what that means, but it's I'm sure it's self-explanatory. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow. And please stay weird. For the love of all humanity, just be weird. It's the best thing. For your health, maybe, possibly. Just think of it outside the box. Think of that. Whatever.